but I want to bring up our Congresswoman. And before I bring her up, I want to tell you a little bit about her that I know. We all know that she's the greatest congressperson that Washington, D.C. ever had. All right. But my personal story is, Mary's House had filed for its 501c3 status, and we had filed for it. We have our former treasurer here who worked with me on that. We filed, we waited 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, we called, 11 months, 12 months, 13 months, 14 months. People are saying, call Eleanor. 13 months, call Eleanor. On the 14th month, I called Eleanor. And on the 15th month, 14th month, I called Eleanor. I talked to Raven in her office. It's an office that you can walk in. I walked in, and they took me. They didn't sit. You know how some of the buildings are in D.C.? You take a number, and they don't care. Let me be good. They don't care. But not in Eleanor's office. I walked in, Raven greeted me, and things were happening. She just greeted me. How can I help you? Hi, Dr. Woody. Took everything. In the 15th month, Mary's House for Older Adults, a LGBT facility, has its 501c3 status. So we are just, I could tell lots of stories about you, but that's the most recent one. So if you would come up and bless us.
Imani Woody, all I gotta say to you is, what took you so long? You know where I live. You know, when the federal government messes with you, you're supposed to come to me. So I'm certainly glad you did, because we don't want to delay one moment on doing Dr. Imani Woody, what her vision is for LBGT senior housing. Now, Imani, I wish that this idea were not so novel. But the fact is, though, you're beginning to see such houses or facilities in the most progressive cities. This is very novel in this city. But it has special meaning. You haven't just gone out and done something that would have been wonderful, which is, I don't know, collected some money and tried to get a place to start. You have given the gift of your own family home. And if anything tells us how much this means to you, this project means to you, it is the gift of your own childhood home. It tells us how much you believe in this project. I predict that it will attract, that your own generosity toward your father, which is also giving to this new home, the gift of empathy, that will attract others to be as generous as you are being today. Now, you and I recognize the picture that everyone has of our LBGT community, young, gay, hip. Yeah, they're that too. But I got a news flash for everybody. That they too, like us, will age. And I'm afraid that society has not yet stopped discriminating. And by the time they age, we cannot predict that it will. For many of them have already aged. And it would just be a terrible anticlimax after seeing the LBG community finally beginning to be accepted, as was not the case for the LWDA. The notion of being chased back into the closet in old age is something we should not allow to happen. if people have spent their lives being who they want to be, seems to me they ought to spend their old age being who in the hell we want to be. Mary's house, so far as I know, Imani, is the first of its kind in this city. I would like to see HUD involved in assisting this city and others in making this happen. Now, you already have given us a vested interest with the 501c3, so let's see if we can get HUD understanding that it would be a good pilot project for them to be involved in what you're doing as you seek now to raise money for it. After all, we have one of the largest LBGT communities in the country, so this would be a perfect place to have Mary's house be an example for all the rest. Our LBGT community is now and will spend a lifetime in making contributions to our city. They're not going away. They're not going to go away simply because they age. Imani, it took one woman with a vision to start us off. In return for what you've done for the community, I'm here to tell you you have done for the city as well. I can tell all of those who came this evening, I'm prepared to follow her. I think there will be a lot of other people in this city who will. Thank you for all you're doing, Dr. Imani.
Let's hear it again for our congressperson. Woo-hoo!